The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the assumptions, views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host and guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. In addition, all copyrighted material is used without permission and will be removed with notification from the rightful owners or their agent. So there.
You found the Taxi Stand Hour.
Over.
On Radio TFI.
Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428, on Twitter at Taxi Stand Hour. From a payphone, call collect.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Good morning, kids and kittens, from high atop the Radio TFI Executive Tower. I am Ed Van Ness. It is Sunday, December 3rd, 2023. John Shannon is still off, making himself a better person than we could ever hope to be. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. Now, joining me from the coach section and also from is the 1959 Urbana, Virginia Little Miss Spat Queen, Bill Fancher, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
I don't know. We'll find out in the next 2 hours.
Do you know what a little spat is?
Yeah, hold on.
No. That's spit. That's spit. A spat, if I know it's been a long time since you were in that contest. That's a baby oyster. So your Little Miss Baby Oyster. That was what do you remember about that contest?
I don't know. I wasn't too far past being a zygote at the time.
Can you spell zygote?
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Oh, I just thought you asked if I could spell it.
not if you would spell it. Okay.
Zygote.
I can, but I'm not going to.
I'm not going to. So there. What is this, a friggin' spelling bee today?
All right, kids and kittens, we thank you for joining us here on the Radio TFI streaming network. Audio, sound, video, you name it, we got it. We're making our way, busting through the airwaves because technology allows us to do so. All reports indicate young Mr. Shannon may be back with us sooner than later. Both Bill and I had a chat with him yesterday. Sounds good. Well,
he's not quite the $6 million man yet, but
then again, he never was.
No, but we have the technology.
That's right. We never did find out how much the Bionic Woman was worth, though.
Probably a rib. Oh, come on, that was too easy.
I know. I laid that meatball out right in front of you, and I even put sauce on it. That being said, I don't think there's anything left to do but head towards John's favorite segment,
rock and roll.
It's the Radio TFI Market Watch, brought to you by Pete and Tony's, down by the highway. Uber closed the week at $57.35, up $2.03. Lyft closed the week at $13.14, up $2.87. You can buy lunch now. Tesla closed the week at $238.83, up $3.38. Amazing. Finally, Truth Social closed the week at $17.48, down 67 cents. This has been the Radio TFI Market Watch, brought to you by Pete and Tony's, down by the highway. Go to Pete and Tony's, mention the show. Get a complimentary 64-ounce mug of MAGA tears. And that's it for the Market Watch this week. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Tesla stock does next week after everybody.
Yeah, we should all hope. Yeah, because I gotta believe I get more people listening to me when I tell them to F off.
You know what? We've met about this, Bill. We're going to give you a pass, and you can tell the story using the full word. What did Elon do?
Can I? Oh, well, I was just kind of halfway listening to the news report, and Elon. They were asking him about his sponsorship stuff and where they put them on the shows at Twitter or what X or whatever. And Elon, in his great glory, just told all of his sponsors they can go fuck themselves.
That's
with
right.
a direct quote.
That is a direct quote. And so he said, you can't blackmail me with money. That's not blackmail.
That's
Advertisers pulling their sponsorship is not blackmail. We're being right up front with it. We're not being secretive about it. Blackmail is, if you don't do this, I'm going to tell somebody that. I will make things uncomfortable for you, or I'll take a lot of your money. Makes no. This is just you're being a dope, and I don't want to advertise with you. I'm not giving you my money anymore. I mean, we would never tell Pete or Tony. Well, maybe Tony, but
Tony's a
little, but we'd never tell them to go F yourself.
Never tell them to go F themselves.
Nor will we do it with Butt Drugs, our newest sponsor.
No, you can't tell Butt Drugs to F themselves.
No,
that's not right.
It's just wrong. So it will be interesting. As a matter of fact, thanks to that development, behind the scenes here, I've been working on getting us a little bit more visible on other social media platforms, which young Mr. Shannon has been. He and I have not seen quite eye to eye on that.
He's been drug screaming and kicking.
But after speaking, we spoke yesterday about it, and he says, "Oh yeah, we definitely got to do something." We're not leaving Twitter at the moment, but we're just making plans to. Let's put it this way: we've got a couple of go bags packed.
Yeah, we're lower in the lifeboat.
Yeah. We've manned our stations. We, we're all taking swim.
And it ain't women and children first on this ship.
Nope.
Fend for yourself! Run!
Get out of the way, kid.
That's right, you little bastard. You can't run fast enough. Get out of my way.
So we had a meeting of the first ladies this week at Rosalind Carter's funeral, which was, unfortunately, I only caught about the last 40 minutes of it. It was very touching, very moving, very for some reason, I don't know if I talked about this last week. For some reason, I had in my head all these years that the Carters only had one kid, that they only had Amy. I completely forgot that they had three sons.
Because the other ones were pretty much grown up and didn't live in the White House with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I agree with that. I'm not saying I was, oh no, they only had one kid. No, I get it. I somehow I missed that. It's not like I thought of the Carters every day, and spent my life. But so if you didn't see the funeral, let's talk about. President Carter was wheeled in, and he's in hospice. He's 99 years old. He's not doing as well as other 99-year-olds are, but it is what it is. And I'll be quite honest. It's been 5 days now. I'm surprised he's still here. I thought for sure. He looked very frail, and now that the love of his life is gone, I'd be very surprised if he lasts much longer, and that's just based on how many longtime couples go within
the standard. The standard in that is usually 6 months. They'll say most will be within 6 months. So, I mean, that's giving him a long-term prognosis. But
right, right. So, and there was a lot of a lot going on about Melania Trump. Yeah, her overcoat wasn't black. I agree, and it's not like she can't afford.
And well, go figure.
But
and then again, maybe she can.
Maybe she can't. That is absolutely true. You know, it's
because she should have had something black because the hundreds of friends that he lost in 9/11. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
You know. But and I mean, they have pictures of her in black, and look, she was there. She appeared to be very respectful. She did not make it about her.
No, she's not quite like hubby.
Not quite, but she's got it in her.
Yeah.
But I thought overall, if the only thing you could complain about was her overcoat, then I don't think you had a whole lot to complain about.
You don't have a whole lot to complain about.
Shut
your friggin' mouth.
It's like when the Republicans went bat poop crazy years ago when President Obama wore a tan suit. Oh my goodness. Come on, man. This is the worst thing you can get on the guy? I mean, speaking of politics, I found a very interesting quote the other day. Senator John Fetterman, D. Pennsylvania, was on The View, and Joy Behar said to him,
his hoodie?
As a matter of fact, he was.
Boy.
Joy Behar said to him, "How are you doing, John? You suffered a stroke in May 2002. You are among 40 million Americans living with a disability." To which Fetterman then replied, "Thank you. I've gotten better and better. Fox News is devastated to hear that." Speaking of Fox News, did you happen to catch the DeSantis Newsom quote unquote debate?
Yeah, I hang out on Fox News like I hang out on Twitter.
I just asked if you caught it or not.
No, that pitch was a knuckleball in the dirt.
Copy that. Well, I watched it, and the big non-surprise was every question that Sean Hannity. It was just Sean Hannity, nobody else there in the studio.
Buckethead.
Yeah, old Buckethead. So every question that he threw at Newsom began with a graphic telling you how much California is a hellhole. You know, this is down, this is, and the best line was somewhere near the end when Newsom beat him hands down. Newsom's got movie star looks and, you know, and all that, knows how to handle a sentence. But at one point he said to DeSantis, "Here's one thing I know for certain. Neither of us will be our party's candidate for president in 2024.
I believe I can say that with absolute certainty.
He kept hammering, you know, when DeSantis was trying to hammer at him, he would just say things like, "You're down 30 points in your own state." So,
why are we even having this conversation?
Yeah. I thought
I could be talking to Spike the Wonder Dog and a better debate.
Considering that, you know, Newsom went into enemy territory, and it was him against DeSantis and Hannity. I thought he did very well. You know, look, it's politicians, and they talk over each other. So I'm all for cutting microphones off. When it's your turn to speak, your microphone will get turned back on. It's not that difficult. I can shut Bill down anytime I want.
You just choose not to.
I choose. That's right. Thank you very much. And that's what keeps his microphone on, is he knows when to. He knows when to bow down in subservience.
Kind of learning that now. Oh, hey, while we're kind of hanging out here, I got to give a shout out to James Beasley this morning. And they were actually listening. He was actually watching the show at work the other day.
Sorry about that. Whatever we said, I'm sorry. I apologize.
They were working at night, so he thought, well, I'll pull the show up and we'll see what it's like.
And who is James Beasley? Is this a friend of yours?
He's a buddy of mine that we bowl with, and he's a pharmacist, so he always got good drugs.
There you go. That's your
bulk drugs. from butt drugs.
Butt drugs. Well, where else
Butt
would
drugs.
you get your drugs?
Where else would you get your drugs?
Tell you what, James, we'll dig around and see if we can find you an ad or something for being a listener. Bill has that. Bill got an app before he became a regular on this show. I don't know how.
No.
I think John put on his ninja stuff and snuck into the vault one day.
When nobody was looking.
We somebody out there. Oh, we did this about 4 years ago. We did some kind of little contest, and we were thinking about getting T-shirts made up. We never did, but we did something. So somebody actually won the T-shirt. So we had to have the T-shirt made, and we sent it to the person. And it's the only one of its kind. It's a Taxi Stand Hour T-shirt. I think it's got the big logo on the front and something. I don't even remember what it looked like. And I designed
collector's item. Wow.
It is a one of a kind because we just never did the T-shirts. we wanted to see what they would look like, and we got to talking about it. We were hot on this. Okay, do this, say that, and call it 12 or whatever we did. Speaking of winning prizes, we all won a big prize this week. George Santos. See ya.
But are we sure it was really him that got kicked out?
Oh, no, I understand. I understand. There's talk that we may find out that yes, indeed, Gerald is indeed George Santos. Isn't that right, Gerald?
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that rumor.
Well, that's Gerald. Would you like to talk about that a little bit more?
I'm afraid I must be going.
All right, we'll see you later on. For football.
All right, you non-committal SOB.
Easy now. I watched some of the floor debate on that the other day because I thought it was the day they were actually voting, and it was interesting to listen to the people on his side going on about how, well, he hasn't been convicted of anything yet. That doesn't mean we can't kick you out of the club.
Can't kick you out of the club. Good criminy.
And on top of that,
been convicted of anything.
Well, you admitted to things.
Yeah, it's like Bill Murray in Stripes. Have you ever been convicted? Convicted? No.
But I believe Matt Gaetz and a couple others went on about how, we should let the voters of the 3rd District of New York decide. They did decide. They decided on a guy that's not him.
Exactly.
That's not who they decided on. Not at all.
Uh-huh.
So,
hey, that's it. That lion schmuck that we thought we had.
Yeah.
Well, special appearance today.
There you go. It's the official Radio TFI cat feeder.
Exactly.
Furniture.
Now one of my that burns! It burns!
For those of you listening on the radio, Barb just kissed her lovely husband on the head. This is top-notch studio quality here.
Yeah, you can't ask for better than this.
No. I think our head of security, John, is slipping since he hasn't been here.
Yeah, since he hadn't been here, it's really kind of gotten bad.
It's falling apart. I want to. Let's let this play out. Again, if you're not watching on the video, you're missing something. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, and you'll find. Or you can look in the app if you have the Radio TFI app. Look for the videos, and you'll see. And just come to this portion of the program. 19 minutes in.
Trying to make me look human.
The door is open again. I'm not sure if it's
Barb. I'm sure it's probably the cat. No, oh God.
They know better. They know you're not human.
Thank you.
Bye, Barb.
Get the hell out of here, would you? The next thing we got to get her a friggin' headset.
Could be. It's anyway. What were we talking about? Oh, Santos.
I know.
Matter of fact, that was George Santos. Just
yeah, that's probably who that was.
I can't believe this guy is going to live off the fact that he was in Congress for the rest of his life. He will be
Oh,
standing.
no kidding. They should, you know what? Since you got expelled, you should lose any entitlements that he would receive. And especially, how many football coaches have you seen get fired because they embellished on their resumes?
Mm,
So this schmuck ain't much better.
but this is politics, my friend. This is the GOP.
Yeah.
There's only so far you can take the argument. Well, he hasn't been convicted of anything. And of the 5 previously expelled people, they've all been convicted. Well, first off, 3 of them were Civil War related.
Yeah. So you had to kind of figure that.
Right. That was kind of a whole different. And the other 2, yes. And they were all Democrats, by the way.
That's what I brought up to you. I go, have you noticed how they were all Democrats?
I knew I heard it somewhere. I just wasn't sure where. But,
they showed it on the TV, listed all the guys, and they all had the D. And I went, well, okay. I don't know what that means. Maybe it just means that we don't mind eating our own.
but then the Democrats were a whole different party.
Oh, back then, absolutely.
Back in the day. So let's not kid ourselves. None of them are perfect. And Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden.
Really? Do we
Really?
have to talk?
Really?
This is a non-issue.
That may be, but
But I'm going to talk about it anyway.
we're going to talk about it anyway. So now the latest thing appears to be, well, now they want to bring Hunter Biden in, but they want to do it in secret.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, like you said, bullshit. No, you want to talk to me? It's going to be on the record in front of the cameras. Well, I'm just telling you what he said.
Well, that's not what he said. Yeah. So he said, yeah, fine, sure. I'm willing to come in, but we're going to do it in front of everybody and for the best reason of all, so that you can't make stuff up, about what he said and blah, blah, blah. I'm with him 100% on this.
Well, I won't disagree. It's like and kids still. Can somebody explain to me what the hell they're after him for? I mean,
They're not. They're after his father.
I know, but didn't we have these kind of issues with the rocks that were with the big stone in the last, and nobody brought up anything about them?
No. Keep in mind, MTG, the Barney Rubble double. She was she was filing articles of impeachment against Joe Biden 2 weeks into his term.
Yeah. Which shows how friggin' stupid she actually is.
Right. Well, I think
and that's kind of an insult to stupid people. So,
Although I do blame the people of Northern Georgia. I think that's the Georgia 5th or the Georgia 3rd. They
she was elected the first time because nobody else was running.
Right.
And then the second time she got elected, and I thought, okay, you people get what you deserve.
But I don't think she won by a small margin, but just the same, she won. The fact that anybody's voting for her tells you all you need to know about Northern Georgia. But yeah, they're just, they're just trying to find something on Biden. And look, if Hunter Biden did anything, you want to show his naked pics.
And who cares? I mean, in all fairness, I've said, if he did something wrong,
right,
try him, convict him, do it, get it over with. Quit fudging around the issue.
Yeah, it's like the election thing. There's no question that the election was stolen. Prove it.
Yeah, show me your proof. Well, we got to go talk to the pillow guy first.
Yeah. How's he doing these days?
Yeah, how's that going for you?
You mentioned small rocks and big rocks. There you go.
Yeah, there's a little
rocks to put in his pillows. Here's a guy. Well, Mike Lindell just proved that he is an addictive person, no matter what the addiction is, be it crack cocaine or silly conspiracy theories. because now he apparently had turned his life around. He had money. He was, and
then
now
he joined the cult.
And then he joined the cult. I'll tell you what burns me more than anything else about him. I feel
Flame him
sorry.
at this high.
Yeah, about 3 feet high. That's what burns my butt. Is his preoccupation. If you watch him, he always has that little cross out sitting there. So you know that he's a good Christian, which, as we all know, those words they fight against each other. Good Christians don't talk about it. Good Christians don't throw it in your face. Good Christians do what they're going to do, and you do it in secret. Shh. You go about your business.
Example.
Exactly. You don't have to throw it out in front of me. You don't have to get the cross tattoo on your forehead to prove to me what a good goddamn Christian you are.
Did you just say a naughty word?
I did not. I did not.
Because I don't have the button over here to.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You could, but we haven't figured out your butt yet. So before we will give you the sound effects at some point.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
At that point, it ain't even close yet.
I mean, I can make the sound effects if you want me to. Little armpit farts going on here, and
we really there's an entire entire civilization that would prefer you. Then there's many races too that wish you wouldn't.
They're racist too. What the hell?
Yeah. So yeah, I it is. We talked about this a lot. This blasted GOP party is just, and now I see, maybe I had missed it. Maybe they said this a while ago, but you've got them all now, all these maggots, all these nuts. Lauren Boebert, I saw her the other day. I don't know when she said this, that, we got to get rid of this separation of church and state junk. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah, exactly.
We need this to be a Christian nation run, but no, we don't.
No, that was not what this country was founded on.
Religious freedom, baby. Religious freedom. You want to do your thing. That's the whole point of being here in the USA.
That's right.
You do your thing. You want to worship, Jesus Christ on a cracker? By all means, do your thing.
And if you want to be a druid, go for it. Worship them bushes. Be my guest.
If your god is Champion, the Wonder Horse, well. There's a little in joke if you actually look at the opening credits of this show, but
yes.
But yeah, I mean, I put, it's stated fact. It is locked down, chiseled in stone, how I feel about organized religion. I'm more comfortable with organized crime than I am with organized.
Oh man, no kidding.
At least with organized crime, they're right up front about it.
They're right up front about it. They don't make up stuff and then go behind your back.
Right. They don't pretend to be what they're not.
No, I mean, it's just business. It's just business.
Not personal.
It's not personal. It's business.
Cheech, La Porta. See, now, if you've seen Godfather 2, you know what that means. It's my favorite line. I don't know why. Because I can pronounce it, and I knew what it meant as soon as he said it. Cheech, La Porta. In other words, my big goon of a bodyguard. Get the door. Frankie Five Angels. Oh,
Frankie Five Angels.
If you haven't seen both Godfathers numerous times, you're not a man. Your man card is the
you
best.
You lose your man card.
At best, probationary.
And if you can't at least quote one scene from any of the movies,
oh my goodness,
then
you're excused on Godfather 3. Nobody.
Yeah, well, nobody really.
No, Godfather 3 is pointless. And
leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Paulie.
Don't ever leave the cannoli.
One of these days,
And those of you out there who have never had cannoli would understand that 100%. Don't ever leave the cannoli.
anyway, we yeah, so there, they want this whole Christian nation, and well, you look at our new Speaker of the House. One of the first things he said,
Oh my God, is he Satan or what?
they asked him about his way of doing things. Pick up your Bible. That'll tell. The Bible is a bunch of stories passed down.
The Bible at best, is a history book. At best.
At best, and not originally in English.
No, it wasn't.
Been translated numerous times, and everybody will put their tiny little spin on it, even if they don't intend to. But who's ever translating it will go, well, that word could mean one of two things or one of 8 things, depending on the language.
And I'm going to have it mean what I want it to mean.
I think it meant this, and there could be no intent to, change it, but you've got to make a decision and go, oh, it seems like it'll mean this. And now you've got that egg rolling down the
Well,
hill.
I'll give you a perfect example of that. I read a book.
You did not.
One time. I read a book one time. It took me like 6 months to read it, and it was only 4 pages.
That was the forward.
No, it was talking about those type of issues and how it said actually the original text of the crucifixion said that Christ was resuscitated, not resurrected. He was resuscitated.
Mhm.
So that, you put that back in the Bible in its original context, that makes a whole different story.
Well, suddenly now we lose Easter.
Yes, we do. Damn rabbits are gone. And,
We lose Easter because there was no resurrection. Sam Kinison has a great bit about that. Coming home, Mrs. Jesus, where have you been? Oh, out with those.
no woman in the world's going to buy this story.
Right. Sam Kinison was a preacher.
I know what your buddies, they're losers.
He was a preacher. So if you and here's something else. The Sam Kinison's first HBO special, which me and my buddies used to watch almost on a loop.
Oh no!
It is one of the funniest hours you will ever. He was hot. He had and you can see the preacher in him as he's doing his performance, and you can see it and you can feel it. One of my favorite lines is, they stopped selling liquor at 2:00 in the morning. What do? Rent a limo. And it comes with booze, and you can get booze anytime. And,
then you can do whatever you want.
Rest in peace, Sam. But, Christians, you do your thing. Now, keep in mind, I used to live just a block or two from one of the largest churches in Fort Lauderdale. You could see the spire from miles around. I could point to people from the other end of town. Oh yeah, that's where I live. Look for the big cross.
You can see my spire from miles around too.
Hey, Jesus, I can see your house from here. There's or John, I can see your house from
here.
Yeah. But these are the good, kind people that would park on your lawn. Yeah, so that they wouldn't have to walk an extra 10 feet. And they cut you off. Oh, I generally knew not to leave the house at that time, when church was breaking. Sometimes
because you ain't going to go nowhere.
Right. But you get cut off in traffic, people yell and scream. I'd wait, and as they're coming out of the parking lot, it was a smaller road. And the good, fine Christians. There's nothing I enjoy more than getting cut off in traffic and being given the finger to by somebody with that fish symbol on the back of their car.
I saw one of those the other day, and I wished I could find it somewhere, but I haven't been able to. It's got the fish, and on the bottom it's got 2 feet, and in the middle it said Darwin. Oh, now that I need one of them.
PHOTI. Fish.
Oh yeah.
PHOTI. PH as in philosophical. That's how you pronounce it. You pronounce it with the F sound. The O, I forget what word is used. And TI like contrition. But yeah, you can spell it PHOTI, fish. Anyway, heard that on Batman. the TV.
XQRST.
Who?
Oh, did you?
Say it again. No, you dropped out. You dropped out. What'd you say?
You could spell it XQRQT, you know,
No,
and pronounce
no,
it
you can't.
fish. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but no, the way I spelt it, PHOTI, you can't get the
Yeah,
F
that
sound
was
from
the
P.
old what is it, hieroglyphic type of spelling or whatever it was. What
It's
was
just a
it?
clever way to spell it.
All of a
But-
sudden,
but-
my
Hello? Is your microphone work?
hello.
You started to tell me, well, again, Christians, USA, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to kill everybody else? You know, are we all going to be escorted out? Am I considered Christian because I'm Catholic? Does that give me a pass?
No, you're a witch.
I ain't fond of being a Catholic either.
No, I call myself a recovering Catholic.
Right, so do I. I've used the same term for years. I'm on the 12
Mhm.
Apostle program.
I'm only at number 9 right now, so
Right, I'm at Irving.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I've never officially walked into a church and renounced myself, or you know. So
No, I've never done that. No.
So I don't know. If
I
it's just
don't want to
tempt fate.
I don't want to taunt God, should I say?
There is a God.
I've done enough of that in my lifetime. I don't. No. Now at my age, you don't taunt the big guy.
I'm absolutely certain there's no such thing as God, but just in case.
But just in case, and there are no atheists in foxholes.
You know, one of the things that I
And what happens when you have an earthquake? What's the first thing you do when there's an earthquake? You look up.
you look. So I heard this for the first time from an old neighbor of mine who had given up one addiction for another. He, hey, Facebook user, how are you today?
Okay. Somebody's going to jump in on us.
All it says is Facebook user. We don't know who it is, but we got
What
a
is?
message
But hey,
on the screen. I don't know who it is, but thanks for joining in.
thanks
Anyway,
nonetheless.
my neighbor informed me when he went from being addicted to chemical substances to being addicted to Christianity, which was fun. He said to me, and he tried for years and years and years to get me to become, hey, Shaletta, it's our good pal
Oh, is that who it is?
Shaletta, and this
She
is a
makes
woman-
us laugh.
She does make us laugh. It is fun to see you, Shaletta. I don't know if you've been in touch with him. John's been a little under the weather right now. Maybe you reach out to him and say hi. But it's so wonderful to see that you're touching base with us here, because you are a busy woman, my friend. By
Yes,
the way,
she
it's
is.
Shaletta, go to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com and you'll see all the wonderful things that this woman is up to. She's a media star now. The fact that you have
Yes,
deemed
look
us
out.
worthy of
She's
your
a-
presence is
And on Saturdays, you can catch her on the matinee show at Pete and Tony's.
that's right. She, let's see. Oh, all right. So we're gonna leave that one off. That's
Yes, we'll let that one pass.
yeah. All right. We will. We're gonna keep his seat warm until he gets back. He might be back next week. But again, we're not putting everything out there. So we appreciate you touching base with us, Shaletta. And thanks again. You are wonderful. You're the best. I'll just leave it at that. We appreciate the fact that we are just even a tiny part of your universe.
I've got to ask her though, is she going to do any more Twins commercials this year?
Well, thank you. Shaletta says she's enjoying the conversation.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
for those of us not watching on the video, but I gotta say, Shaletta, the picture that comes up here, it's not the most flattering of you.
No, we need a better picture.
Yeah, no, it's all it says is Facebook users. So, but hey, thanks again for tuning in. You know we love you here, and we can't appreciate you any more than we do. We try, and thanks again. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right, back to being
Being a good Christian.
right, trashing religion in general. Thanks for tuning in. That's not the spot I would have thought you would have chimed in, Shaletta.
No, yeah, it's okay. I was expecting to see Father Guido, and the power of Christ compels you.
keeping in mind, and I always like to say this, to each their own.
Yes.
I am all for anybody practicing their faith. It's organized religion I have a problem with. It's not so much. It's not so much. It is certainly
And
not.
have you noticed how it's not much different than an addiction? What is the one main thing with an addiction? You got to go out and steal to get money and pay for your addiction. So what happens in the middle of the service? Out comes the collection plate. It's time to pay for your addiction.
Yeah. I used to have to do the collection. It's
so I mean, I tell you, get no respect.
I'm not it doesn't bother me that individuals have their faith. That is entirely up to you, and I will defend your rights. I will defend you, but that is your faith, and that is, look, what I was starting to say, the story I was starting to tell was my neighbor, as he tried to get me to be join him at his church, which I will not name because I think they're some of the biggest thieves. But I'm not going to name the name. I'm just not going to.
Well, you give me a good idea with that one, though. But okay.
He said, "I'll tell you after the show."
Okay.
But he said to me, and he said it to me more than one time. You know, Ed, you can right up to the last minute. You can reach out and accept Jesus Christ in your life, and then you'll go to heaven. I said, so let me be clear on this. Let me be clear. So I get a free pass right up until they bring me the check.
Yep.
The check arrives. I go, Jesus.
Well, that's what I usually say when the check arrives. I still remember what my grandfather's last words to me were.
What's that? Speaking of grandfathers, I want to go the way my grandfather did, peacefully in his sleep, not screaming and yelling like his passengers in the car. But so that's one that's always gotten to me, and I've heard this from other people before. It's so if I accept Jesus at the very last nanosecond, dude, we're cool.
That's all it takes, man.
That's all it takes. I mean, I would much rather be remembered for just being a generally good person.
Exactly.
Who messed up every now and again. But
that's part of being human.
But in my way, I did my nice things for people. I did what I could when I could. Mistakes, I've made a few, but then again, too few to mention.
I thought you were going to do a Freddie Mercury thing there for a minute.
No, that's Sinatra. That's my way.
Oh, okay.
Come on, stay with us.
About mistakes, I've made a few.
Then again, too few to mention. My friend, I've made it clear. Anyway, so it's funny that I mean, it's not funny. There's all these make-believe. Again, there are great people out there with nothing but good intent in their hearts who, from their point of view, and there's nothing wrong with it, have been tested by their God. And they meet the test, and they meet every day. Shaletta is one of those people. She has been tasked with raising children with special needs And she's had, she's had her ups and downs, and she's had her struggles. And she manages to keep a smile on her face, and she manages to still be able to reach out and help others. And
But my thing with that is that really a test of faith, or is it just a test of your humanity?
well, that would be, I guess, up to the individual now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I would believe that Shaletta would look at it that way. And we're not picking on you, Shaletta. It's just that
Oh God, no, not in any stretch.
and you're a good person, and you're a good example. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all fall down and skin our knees. And,
I was once, and I am with football picks for the last week. So
we're going to get to that. Oh, we're going to get to that. He had one good week, and there's going to be no living with him. I think your check is about near. But again,
then okay. If you up to the, you better leave a good tip.
So it's one of those things I look at, and if this is what gets you through, okay, then I'm there with you. And I wish I had that. For many, many reasons, I can't go that way. I tend to look at things from the perspective of, boy, oh boy, just when I think I've got it tough. Is my life perfect? No, I got to spend every Sunday with this goon. I don't know how I got wrapped up.
Ditto.
Lo and behold, here I am. Now, is my life perfect? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Do I have it better than some people? Yes. Do I have it worse than some people? Yes, depending on how you're looking at things. And we won't go into my little foibles. That's what I pay my therapist for. And used to be known as my bartender, but I'm too old anymore.
They got with seeing you and put them in a new tax bracket.
It's not that good, but again, I don't like the idea that, and they're not the majority, not by any stretch of the imagination, but with the reach of social media these days, anybody can sound like they're the majority. I mean, if we really, really, really put our minds to it, we can make you think that this show is loved and adored worldwide.
Yes.
And people are
It's
changing.
not. It's not.
It's not. Shh, 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 shh. Shush. I do the
Stifle, Edith.
the drunk. No. Wait
a minute.
Good Lord. Oh, I saw a picture the other day of a friend of mine who's a grandfather now, and I'm like, I remember when I was dragging you along the streets of York Avenue at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's, we all have our moments.
It's whatever rope you want to grab onto that, hey, then you do you, boo.
Right. I'm not against faith. I'm not against spirituality. I'm not against any of that. Simply organized religion.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that structure, some people need and desire that structure, which is fine. I had a funeral. I had to go to a funeral a couple of weeks ago. My cousin passed away unexpectedly, really unexpectedly. And we didn't do the traditional wake. I should say my aunt and uncle didn't do the traditional wake. It was about a half hour before the service. People came in, said hello, expressed their condolences. And, and actually I thought it was, it's just where you catch the show from Radio TFI. I have no idea who that could be.
Huh. Would you care to make a guess?
I would rather not. Thank you very much.
You don't need two sides of the coin on this one.
No, you don't. Good morning, John. But
yeah, exactly.
But I kind of saw what they did there is that instead of dragging it out, well, I mean, back in the day, it'd be a 3-day wake and then a funeral and a party and all that. Now it's down to, and I was great with this. It was a half hour before the mass. You know, my aunt and uncle stood up. My cousins were at the back of the church when you came in, and then my aunt and uncle were up at the front. So, you know, you stop, you talk to them. But that was a lot less pressure on them to go through this. I wouldn't want to see them go through even the full day at the wake at the funeral home. That's A, they're in their 80s. B, you know, my aunt is strong. My Aunt Lorraine is very strong. And do I think she would have got through it? I think both of them would have. But I don't think they needed to. And I'm glad they didn't. We did what we needed to do. They did what they needed to do. I just showed up and, you know, sat down and blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, but again, everybody handles their faith differently. And for instance, when my mother died, she wanted, you know, we did the whole Catholic Mass, and that's what she wanted. And my father paid to have, we now sponsor one of the Stations of the Cross in my old neighborhood church. My mother's name is there, dedicated to Patricia Maggio Van Ness. You know, so anytime I can go in and, you know, and see that, which is not a horrible thing. And again, my father found religion after my mother passed. Suddenly he was not suddenly, and you know, he turned into a go to church every day kind of guy. At his funeral, the priest is like, well, my father's also named Eddie. He was here every day for whatever it was, 4, 5, 6 years. And then he stopped showing up, and then they found out he had passed.
Then we had to go check on it. His tithing stopped. We got to go check on you now.
He was retired, and he passed in the hospital.
Okay.
It wasn't a secret. They didn't find him.
No.
My ex, her father, they found him. He passed away. He lived alone. And it was 3 days later. I got a call from the New York.
No way, no.
I got a call from the New York City Police Department. I thought it was one of her friends from the Bronx yanking her chain. I had to call back to verify it. That was a tough day.
That was with my poor dad. I got a call from my sister at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going over to the house. Yeah, I'm going over to the house, and a cop comes out. He meets me at the front door. He goes, "I don't know if you really want to go in there." And I thought, "Oh dear Lord, what happened?" I said, "You know, it's my dad. What, you know?" And he goes, "Well, he passed on the toilet." I went, "Oh no, my dad did an Elvis," and the cop just starts laughing.
We're all gonna go.
You gotta go. You may as well go in style.
Well, go while you're going. I mean, there you go.
That's it.
It's you know, unfortunately, I often get a choice on that, but anyway, I think I'm trying to bring this back to where we were about
some level of sanity.
With these nut jobs. We are not a nation to be ruled or run by religious zealots. Okay. I don't need somebody to be, perhaps you're more comfortable around people of your own faith. That's your choice.
Good for you.
And that's who you vote for. And that's who you try to get like-minded individuals. I get that. We all like to be surrounded by like-minded individuals because then we seem schmatta. You know, me, I find myself these days around old, stupid, fat guys. And nothing personal, Bill.
Yeah, you want to look smart, hang around dumb people.
Absolutely. So, you know, look, we need to get back to the thinking of the 18th century where we didn't figure on religion. It's there in the Constitution that they like to, you know, wave in front of your face when it's convenient.
Half the people, probably even more than half in the Republican Party don't even know how to spell Constitution, much less read the damn thing.
I'd spot in the G and the O in God.
You have a point there.
You know, I mean, let's face it, there are so many people out there that are dragging themselves into church on Sunday morning after Saturday night. Let's not kid ourselves here, kids and kittens.
No, I had somebody ask me one time, they said, "Oh, so you're Catholic, which means you can go out on Saturday night and party all you want and then go into confessional and be forgiven?" Well, you're not wrong, but okay, it's not quite how it works.
Hey, Father.
Hey, Father, bless me for I have sinned. Dude, we ain't got enough time. Get out of here. Come back next week.
It's a busy day here with the YouTube comments, and the Radio TFI says that's how I plan to go on the toilet. Well,
Yeah.
we're working on that for you, bud. We are working.
Yeah, well, I just my poor sister was telling me how she went in to check on him, and she's like, "Dad," and then she, I couldn't help but laugh. I go, "Yeah, only you, Sylvia."
Well, look, at least he went doing something he enjoyed and something he knew. It wasn't,
He had the newspaper in his hand.
He's happy. He went
Yeah,
happy.
it's Limby.
I mean, it's not like he got blown up real good or something like that.
No, I thought, my God, when the cop told me, I thought, oh, do I want to go in the house?
Did he
What in
look
the
so
world happened? I just poked my head in and went, oh, geez.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we could all go peacefully and quietly in a hospital.
Yeah, no kidding, but it's not going to happen that way.
Both my parents did. And, so there was no uncomfortable, now we got to get him out of here. That kind of thing. Ew, I don't want to sit there. Mom was.
Get him out of here before he starts smelling up the place.
Again.
Yeah, again. A little Febreze, we're all fine.
Febreze, we're all fine. Hey, look, apropos of nothing, we talked last week or maybe it was the week before about baseball. We got baseball coming up here on the radio.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
Now, we had announced one thing, but unfortunately, due to technical constraints, what we're going to be doing starting Saturday, December 9th, we're going to be playing doubleheaders from back in the day. Hot Stove Baseball, Classic Baseball. This Saturday, December 9th, some of the oldest games we have. These are actual doubleheaders, and we have both games.
Yeah,
both
let's play two.
That's right. From August 2nd, 1936, it's a doubleheader with the Boston Red Sox playing the Chicago White Sox. They played two in Chicago and in 1936.
Would that make it pink?
Anyway,
Red Sox play the White Sox? Oh, never mind.
Anyway, we every Saturday will be that's at 1:00. First game, first pitch 1 p.m. Second game 4 p.m. and that's going to go right up through February 17th. We have a variety of games. There's a
but
couple.
You got to buy tickets to both games.
That's right. There's a couple of weeks where we just have games that were played on the same day. 2 games played on the same day, and you're going to hear a bit of the Yankees and a bit of Mets because that's our vault where we got our games from. That's the majority. Although we do have Dodgers Cardinals coming up. One of my favorites, Dodgers versus the Colt 45s.
There you go. And if you're old enough to remember that, you're right up there with Ed and I. It's not a beer.
Proud to say I'm older than the Texas Rangers, the California Angels, the New York Mets.
Hey!
Look, it's so excited. So excited. That's going to do it for us for hour number 1, kids and kittens. We're going to be back here at the top of the hour. So,
whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not, stay with us. And thanks for tuning in to Radio TFI. We'll be right back.
You found Just Killing Time with John and Ed.
Hello, handsome. Is that a 10-gallon hat? Or are you just enjoying the show?
On Radio TFI. Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT. 754-800-2428. If you are watching live, the comment section is open. From a payphone, call collect.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
What a crowd, what a crowd. Now, I tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? I mean, last week I bought a Whirlpool for my bath. So far, I lost 3 of my best ships. Okay, last week, nothing went right. I bought a waterbed. There were 2 Cuban guys swimming in it looking for Florida. I tell you, I mean, there's wise guys. Well, I checked in a hotel. I asked the bellhop to handle my bag. He started to feel up my wife. I said to him, I said, hey, buddy, who told you could play around with my wife? He said, everybody. She's a lousy cook, too. She can't cook at all. I leave dental floss in the kitchen, the roaches hang themselves. My old wife, she don't go for me either. I'm not a good-looking guy. Well, Halloween, I open the front door, kids give me candy. I was an ugly kid, too. My old man took me to the zoo. The guy at the gate thanked him for returning me. And I was a very ugly kid. Every time my old man wanted sex, my mother showed him my picture. I mean, and nobody was nice. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. I mean, I had her rough. Well, I told my old man I'm sick and tired of running around in circles. He got mad. He nailed down my other foot. I mean, that's the story of my life. No respect. I don't get no respect at all. Are you kidding? No respect at all. Well, when I was born, the doctor told my mother I did all I could, but he pulled through anyway, you know? Wisconsin. It's nice out there, you know? Yeah. You come from Nebraska. It's nice. Right. Midwest is nice.
You like the Midwest, huh?
Yeah, I wish I came Midwest sometimes, you know? Oh, Midwest, I lived in a nice, small, adjusted town, you know? I had a wooden frame house with a screen door in the back of the kitchen. My brother and sister were Marianne and Biff. And Dad was vice president of the bank, worked there for 30 years, very adjusted man, Dad, never smokes, drinks, or gambles, you know? Then you read about these guys. One day they pick up an axe and wipe out the whole family, you know? Yeah, the next day the cops come around. What happened here? What kind of man was he? He was a quiet man. No, but I've been running around. I gained weight back, Johnny.
Really?
You know what I mean? Hey, you don't eat properly in the road. You're running around all the time, you know, and it's tough to, you know, lose weight when you're jumping around a bit, you know. And but I was much heavier. I was fat, you kidding. I was so fat when I got my shoes shone, I had to take the guy's word for it. I mean, I was fat, I'll tell you that. Fat, you know? I mean, I was some fat girls, too, I'll tell you that. Who? Now, one girl, she was so fat, she got in the scale, a card came out, said 1 at a time, you know. She was fat.
That's a big girl.
Ooh, remember how we met? I hit her with my car. She said to me, why don't you go around me? I told her I didn't think I had enough gas. She was a wild girl, I'll tell you. Ooh, very wild girl. Ooh, she was. You kidding? Well, she made me French toast. Her tongue got caught in the toaster. She was Now, but I'll tell you, too skinny's no good either, you know. No good to be too skinny. You know, a guy died my block last week. Was he skinny? Ooh.
Skinny, huh?
He was so skinny. The funeral had 1 pallbearer, a waiter, you know. Now, but skinny's better than fat, I'll tell you that. Better being skinny. Better for your health, you know, health. And that's what's important, your health. You kidding? I'm not a kid anymore. I'm getting old now.
Yeah.
I know I'm getting old. I'm at the age now, if I hear someone goes both ways, I figure it's number one and number two, you know. Take care of my health. I told you. In fact, I saw my doctor last week, Dr. Vinny Mumbat. You know my doctor. Oh, I saw him last week. I don't check up on the scene. And I asked him if my heart was strong enough for sex, you know. He told me not if I join in. I tell you, Johnny, I told you, it's tough to be funny when you're coming off drugs. I'll tell you that. I tell you though, Johnny, the first time I tried marijuana, I had a wonderful experience. Yeah. Actually, I had a wonderful sexual experience.
Really?
I only wish I'd been someone there to enjoy it with me, that's all, you know? I wish I was gay. I'd make it with Steve Martin, you know that? Actually, he's my second choice. No offense. All right. You don't mind, do you?
You should give that up.
I got a crazy doctor that told me to keep smoking if I want to stop chewing gum, so what the heck? How long do you expect to be in Shanghai? Well, I've had numerous offers. I don't know what I want to do. I like live entertainment, you know what I mean? Movies are director's medium, really, you know, but I was brought up in clubs, you know, like Dominic's Black and Blue Room, Teresa's Funhouse, where you have to really go in it live, you know, Carmine's Cave, all those nice places, you know, where you get an immediate feedback, you know, from the audience.
Reggie's Ravioli Room, all of those big
Reggie's Ravioli Room.
You bet.
Hey, you think pretty good. You're all right, you know?
Let me do this. We'll be right back.
And welcome back, kids and kittens. Let's say we put a picture up there. There you go. There we are.
That helps.
Welcome back. You found Radio TFI. This is Just Killing Time. This is our second hour of
Just Killing Time.
I sometimes lose track of where we are and why we are. My name is Ed. My name is Ed. That's Bill. Bill has drunkenly crawled up from first class into the co-pilot seat here. Well, our good pal John Shannon is recuperating. We're hoping John might be back next week or before Christmas. Excuse me. I have a Tic Tac in my mouth that's not cooperating. I timed it wrong.
We need to dock that boy a week's pay for napping on the job.
Thank you. So it's been a good hour so far. I think we had a nice little chat there in hour number one. By the way, if you've missed any part of this show or any of our other shows,
missed anything.
If you've missed anything, download the Radio TFI app if you haven't already. Bill, be nice to the people. Don't be threatening.
I wasn't threatening. I was promising.
On the radio,
I promise.
On the Radio TFI app, you can find not only the audio versions of the show, the radio version, but if you happen to be watching us, you can find the video version of the show too. And let's face it, who doesn't want to watch two old fat guys sit in static boxes
talk about absolutely nothing
for 2 hours?
For 2 hours.
But anyway, if that's your thing, then we are here.
We here for you.
We're here for you. Download the Radio TFI app, available for iOS, Android, and whatever else you may have. Simple app to use unless you're Bill or John.
There's nothing simple for me.
No, when it comes to technology, I have been blessed with two of the dopiest guys on the planet. But be that as it may.
But however, if I drug you into my life and asked you to operate that x-ray machine, you'd look pretty damn dopey too.
For about the first minute.
No, don't you dare.
Oh, yeah. I'm very good at that.
Don't you dare.
Stick your finger.
You sound like some of the nurses. All you do is push a button.
That's right, gosh darn it.
Uh-huh.
But you know which button to push and when to push.
Exactly right. That's what I told her. Yeah, I'm smart enough to know which button and when to push it.
That's right. And that, of course, is the key, is when to push your buttons. Like right now, as Bill is pushing my buttons, as he keeps interrupting me as I'm trying to move the show along here. Bill is the anchor to my speedboat. And
for damn certain. Left turn, Clyde.
when are you ready, Bill? Are you ready for what's coming up?
I think it must be time to cue the band.
All right, it's birthday time here on The Big Show. Birthdays from today through the 9th of December. Let's get right to it. Some very, very interesting folks having birthdays with this week. We're going to start right off with a goodie. Let's see if you know this one. Turning 92 years old today, J.P. Morgan.
Wow, I didn't even know she was still alive. From the Gong Show.
That's right, from the Gong Show. She had done other things, but that's really where she made her bones. Turning 86 today, Bobby Allison. Broom, broom. Go fast, turn left. Go fast, turn left. Go fast, turn left. Unbelievable. Turning 75 years old today.
Ozzy? I thought Ozzy was like 134. Ozzy. Bloody hell, bloody hell. Hi, I'm Oswald.
Sharon!
Sharon!
All right. Our radio
There you
TFI is
go.
a little nasty there. So Ozzy turned 75 today.
I cannot
today,
believe he's only 75, but okay.
I know. You think he's like with the Keith Richards Club. He died 75.
Oh, no kidding. He's been here forever.
Just doesn't know him. Here is one of the best. Speaking of double headers, here's a great double header. On this day in 1960, not one but two members of the Forever 21 Club were born. Julianne Moore. Gorgeous, gorgeous redhead. You know her. I promise you know her. And Daryl Hannah, who gave me a whole. Daryl Hannah. They're both.
Daryl Hannah was born in 1960?
Yes, sir. But they're members.
No.
Would I lie?
No. Well, yes,
Well,
but that's
not
irrespective of the issue.
Daryl Hannah gave me a whole new appreciation for fish. And moving on, turning 55 today, Brendan Fraser. Are you familiar?
Yeah, I know who he is.
And I thought I had something for him. I don't.
What was the last thing? I don't think he did Dudley Do Right and all that kind of
He
stuff.
did Dudley Do Right. He did Georgia the Jungle.
Georgia the Jungle, yep.
He did The Mummy. He's currently in Doom Patrol on Max. It's very good. He just won an Oscar for The Whale last year before. Moving on to tomorrow, December 4th, Wink Martindale, 89 years old.
Okay, now are we talking about the guy that did the shows, or are we talking about the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles?
We're talking about the game show host.
Oh, okay.
He was like Bill Cullen. He hosted everything. You'd be hard pressed to find a show he didn't host a version of. Price is Right, blah, blah, all of them. Here's one for you. Max Baird Jr. turns 86 years old.
Jethro? I'm doing some ciphering. Who was one of their big sponsors? One of their big sponsors on that show.
Chevrolet.
Well, Kellogg's cornflakes.
Oh, I don't remember the commercials.
Yes.
I don't
With
remember.
Jethro eating the giant bowls of cornflakes.
I don't doubt it for a moment. I don't doubt it. Moving on, turning 83 tomorrow. Freddie Boom Boom Cannon. Who? Here's where you'll know him from.
One of them songs that Ed pulls out of his ass for one-hit wonders.
Palisades Park, man. You know who wrote that?
Freddie Boom Boom Washington. I don't know. Really? Chucky wrote that?
Chuck Barris wrote that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Here's one you're not going to believe. Turning 79 years old today.
Ow.
No, not Al.
Ow, sorry.
Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be served like California. You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hair.
Okay, moving along now.
Coincidentally, that's when the
Or this segment's going to take for freaking ever. So move along.
Jeff Bridges, 74 years. Oh, I've been forgetting.
Yes, you have.
Jeff Bridges, 74 years old. Oh, this one. Certainly a member of the Forever 21 Club. I can't believe she's turning 59 years old. Marissa Tomei.
Oh, no. And in the meantime, my is dead.
Your Honor, may I have permission to treat Miss Vito as a hostile witness?
You think I'm hostile? Now wait till you see me tonight.
I fell in love with her.
She's my fiance. Well, I can understand the hostility.
I cut that out of the clip. But, oh, yeah. Oh,
Well, wait, there's more.
I love her in that movie. She's
the best.
The fact that she won the Oscar for that is just...
You got to stop asking about the Chinese food.
Moving along, turning 54 years old tomorrow. Jay-Z. I know Bill's a big fan.
Yeah.
December 5th, Tuesday. Actually, I can only find two of any note. Turning 76, Jim Plunkett.
Oh, dear God. You are scraping the bottom of the barrel.
And also turning 38 years old, Frankie Muniz. Malcolm in the Middle.
If that's the best you can find for that day, we're in deep kimchi.
And that's it for that day.
Oh, man.
Moving on, Wednesday, December 6th, James Naughton turns 78 years old. I didn't bring up the audio on it, but he was the Dr. Pepper guy. I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Dr. Pepper, drink Dr. Pepper. He also started.
And speaking of my father, that's my father's birthday. He'd have been 90, I think.
Wow. James Naughton also starred in American Werewolf in London.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That is right. Also,
on
Wednesday, turning 68 years old, comedian Stephen Wright.
Oh, you haven't seen him in a long time.
No, and I thought long and hard about which one of his thousands of just really quick one-liners to use was, and one of my favorites. He says, I took my dog out for a walk. I walked him from New York to Fort Lauderdale and back. Now he's done. I would have told him now you're done. Turning 66 years old on Wednesday, former governor of the great state of New York, Andrew Cuomo.
You really had to pull that one out?
It was there. Judd Apatow.
Pulled that out.
Judd Apatow, funny guy, all-around funny guy, director, writer, all that, turns 56 on Wednesday.
Who was that?
Judd Apatow.
Okay, if you say so.
I do say so.
I'll take your word for it.
turning 47 years old and certainly a member of the Forever 21 Club, Colleen Haskell, who she was on the very first Survivor, America's Sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
Cute young lady. And you'll know this one. Turning 31 on Wednesday, Johnny Manziel.
Dear God.
Now the president of the What Happened to Me Club.
Uh-huh.
Is he doing anything? Is he playing with anybody? Or?
Oh, hell no. I think his career span was 6 games in the NFL.
Yeah, something like that.
The only thing they're doing now is they're doing like a documentary about him because nobody knows what the fudge happened to him.
Yeah. December 7th. It's mainly an athlete's day, but here we go. Turning 76 years old, Johnny Bench.
Man.
Johnny Bench.
Number 5, JB.
The baseball bunch. Turning 71 years old on Thursday, and we don't know if she's learned her lesson. Susan Collins of the great state of Maine.
Nobody knows. That's it. Can't get that from here.
Nope. I'm sure President Trump has learned his lesson by now.
Yeah.
Turning 67 years old, Larry Bird.
Wow. God, that makes me feel old now. Jeez.
One of the biggest trash talkers in the league.
Well, that's what Magic always said about him.
Yeah, turning 50, Terrell Owens, T.O. No matter what you think of him. Turning 76 years old on Friday, the 8th, Friday, December 8th. Greg Allman, you may have heard of him and his brothers. From turning 70 years old. Another member of the Forever 21 Club, Kim Basinger, turned 70 on Friday. You remember her from
Batman.
I'm Batman. One of my favorites, turning 59 years old and clearly a member of the Forever 21 Club, Terry Hatcher. Now, you may not remember her from this. You may not remember her from this, but she was on Seinfeld early on.
Mm-hmm.
And is most famous for this line.
They're real and they're spectacular.
One of my favorite lines. Moving on. Is she going to get an extra little?
She should. We should all give her a little extra.
And a little, yeah, buddy. Here's one you haven't heard for a long time. Turning 56 years old on Friday. Jeff George.
Wow.
He played with, first I know he was with the Colts. Then he was with the Raiders.
And he finished his career with the Vikings.
Did he? I know at the end he was staying with what happened to this NFL quarterback, turning 42 years old, Phillip Rivers. He's actually coaching high school football.
And what was Phillip Rivers' little momentary claim to fame?
Wasn't he? No, go ahead, tell me.
He was who the New York Giants traded for them to get Eli Manning.
There you go. How'd that work?
Because Eli said he didn't want to play in San Diego. So the Giants drafted Rivers and they switched him out.
You know what I just realized, and I realize why now we're getting comments from our third, because I never
third wheel.
Yeah, I never opened the phone line, and
well, you dickhead.
So now the phone lines are open. That's Mr. Dickhead to you. 754-800-2428. Also having a birthday on Friday the 8th, turning 41 years old, Nicki Minaj. I know you're a big fan of her music. Saturday, December 9th, which is also doubleheader day here on Radio TFI. Turning 89 years old. I think she might have been alive for that game in 1936. Dame Judi Dench turns 89 years old. She is She is something else. And in a happy coincidence, his brother has a birthday on the 4th. On December 9th, turning 82 years old, is Bo Bridges. His brother Jeff has a birthday earlier. Turning 70 years old on Saturday, John Malkovich. One of the greatest actors ever. Felicity Huffman turned 61 years old. She of college scamming fame. She was just all over the news because, I'm helping people out now, blah, blah, blah. You got caught, honey. That's your problem. You made the one mistake every criminal makes. You got caught.
Isn't it amazing how every criminal is sorry after they get caught?
Well, I usually am. Turns out her daughter, every school she applied for got turned down.
Yeah.
And then after the whole big scandal and whatnot, apparently the daughter buckled down, studied a lot, and got into a good school anyway. What do you know?
Oh, well, go figure.
Turning 28 years old on Saturday, Michaela Maroney.
Hulu, hala, mala, wala, huli?
She was one of the Fabulous Five, the women's Olympic gymnast team back.
Okay. All right. Well, then I can't get too carried away.
No, she was good. The very few people outside of where I grew up and my little group of friends will get this. But Michaela Maroney has this thing she does. When she turns her nose up, it literally like moves and points. Well, there's somebody I know by the name of Jane who does the same thing. We always used to make fun of her about it. And when she was managing, she'd give you this, and her nose literally would move. You had to be there.
Apparently.
And finally, and this is...
Oh, no! Thank God Almighty!
Praise Jesus!
Praise Jesus!
Put the affected part of your body on the radio and say hallelujah. Say amen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we come to the final. No, we're not going to do a Gil Christ thing. Now, this one's a little weird, and I know this will be right up your alley. He's not quite been born yet. But he will be born in 317 years. Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, Michael Dorn.
The character is born in 2340. This is actually in the listings.
Really?
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
And that, as they say, is that. That's I thought it was kind of interesting when I looked, and I'm going
pre-birthday.
A pre-birthday birthday. In 2340 is the year Worf was born. So I find it interesting that the Bridges brothers were born in the same week. You got Julianne Moore and Daryl Hannah born in the same week. Before we get going here, well, you know what? We're close enough. Let's. I know somebody is just. For a change, it's not me that's dying to get into the football segment. Show of hands. Who wants to get into the football segment? Yeah. Maybe we won't do it this week.
Yeah, right. Poor sport.
No, I did very well. Oh no, I didn't.
You didn't do good enough.
I did.
Ed,
you did.
Ed, cue the band.
You did gooder than I did.
I did gooder than mud.
It's time for John and Ed versus the Spread, your weekly foray into the exciting world of pigskin prognostication. Each week, John Houdat Shannon, Bill Houday Fancher, Harold the what? Computer, and I will choose professional football games and select winners using the point spread. At the end of the season, the winner will claim possession of the Radio TFI Gilchrist Ceremonial Sippy Cup. Extra points can be earned by going for it with a 2 or 3 point conversion if we have the nerve, ladies and gentlemen, kids and kittens. It's John and Ed versus the spread. Well. Here we are. Lo and behold, it's week 13. We just came off the Thanksgiving week. There was very little to talk about. No, we're going to get to it. Bill's already got his glasses on. He's ready to rock and roll. Let's take a look at last week.
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
Last Friday and last Sunday.
Let's take a look at Oh my goodness!
So we finished up the week. John picked up 1 point. I picked up 2. What do you know? Both Bill and Gerald picked up 2.
Gerald had a clean day? Wow.
Yeah, how about
what happened? What went wrong?
What went wrong? Well, don't be cocky. That's just remember, a spreadsheet did as well as you did that day.
I know.
All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Right now, Bill has a bit of a commanding lead, 23 points.
Insurmountable.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Give me the cup now. Give me the cup. Just package it up and send it on down here.
Bill's got 23 points. I'm trailing behind with 19. Young Mr. Shannon has 18 points. Gerald is starting to make a comeback with 15 points. So, Bill, last weekend we picked 3 games on Thanksgiving, and then the Black Friday game, which as we all know, the Jets played the. So, and then we picked 2 of the games for Sunday. Why don't you tell us? You know what? We'll wait till we get to your picks.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
we'll wait till we get to your picks. So we'll start with young Mr. Shannon. Young Mr. Shannon this week is going with he's taking Kansas City, giving up 6 points. The computer has picked him to take the Jets +2.
Is the computer mad at him?
Look, the computer, till he comes back and starts making his own picks. That's, again, for Mr. Shannon, we are giving him Minnesota and Kansas City every week, and whatever else needs to be filled in, the Gerald Picker 3000 will assist. So this week, it gave John the New York Jets +2 over the Atlanta Falcons, and John's taking the LA Chargers as they visit New England, and giving up 5.5 points. Now, without further delay, Bill, let's talk football.
Okay. First,
you want to talk about last week?
Nah.
Liar.
All right. Perfect. If you bet with me, you won money. If you bet with Ed, you sucked. So,
you don't have to
have you noticed how for this week, Johnny picks 2 of the same games I do? Yeah, somebody's getting some form of intelligence.
A, he would have gone. We put him with the Kansas City game, and B, the rest
that
is
anyway. Since the Vikings are off this week, he had to pick something. So anyway, all right.
So out of 6 games last week, how many did you pick correctly?
If I'm correct here, I think all of them. Refresh my memory, Ed. How many did I get right?
You got all 6 of them right.
You damn right I did.
Now imagine if you'd gone for 2 on any of them.
Probably would have lost a few.
We can talk about
definitely would have lost the Jacksonville game. That's for certain.
No question. Anyway, let's talk about this week.
All right. New England sucks. That's the best I can say. But I'm taking the Chargers -5.5. It is in New England. So, that cheating Belichick could pull anything out of his ass.
And he has.
And he has on numerous occasions. Kansas City -6 against Green Bay. That's kind of a no-brainer. And I'm going against my own. If this comes back to bite me, I promise I will never do football picks again. Wow. I will be done with it. I'm gonna take Jesus. The Steelers -6.5 against Arizona. And for all you out there betting, please take Arizona +6.5. You'll win that bet.
You know, you've been railing against the Steelers all season about how they've done you wrong, and I find that
And
pick to
still,
be
this was the only game that I could pick that I thought had any semblance of reality to it. And then I looked and I say, oh, God, it is Pittsburgh.
You know, again, there are other games that you could have chosen. I mean, it's too late now.
Yeah, there were other ones, but this one kind of
spoke to you. It spoke to you, didn't it?
It spoke to me. It spoke to me.
And watch later in the day as it leans in to whisper to you and then punches a pencil in your eardrum.
Exactly. I will freaking guarantee you
All
bet
right.
on Arizona in this game because you're going to win.
Let's move on. Let's look at my picks. And as always,
A surprise.
All right, my turn to talk.
Go ahead.
As always, we're taking the Dolphins. They are 9.5-point favorites over them. Their Commanders. Oh, almost forgot. Houston, host the Denver Broncos. I'm going to give up 3 points. Take the Texans. Both of these teams are just like, and nothing was speaking to me this week. Nothing else was speaking to me. Tennessee host Indianapolis. Tennessee is a 1-point underdog on this, so I decided to go for 2. I'm giving up 6.5 points because, quite frankly, I got to catch up to this one. So this seems the most likely game to do it on. So there's my picks.
That was a thought. That was a thought.
Well, you know, some of us need to catch up a little bit here. And, you know, we've still got time. Plenty of games left to be played here. Plenty of games. We got the postseason. We got extra points coming along. Oh, I wouldn't get too comfortable there, young man. Now the moment everyone, especially Bill, has been waiting for.
Good morning, gentlemen. Here we are, week 13. I had one of my best weeks ever in week 12, picking up 4 points. Apparently, Mr. Fancher pulled some shenanigans last week. Who picked 6 out of 6 games correctly? There will be an inquiry, I promise you that. Bill, f*** you. Now, on with the picks. The Tampa Bay No Brady's host the hapless Carolina Panthers at the Big Sombrero. These two cellar dwellers from the NFC South, a division John, Bill, and Ed could win, will put more people to sleep than the birthday segment. For reasons I don't fully understand myself, I'm taking Tampa and giving up 5 points. Moving on. The Indianapolis Colts, marvels of mediocrity, visit Music City to battle the Titans. Battle is a strong word. So is Titans. Let's just say, there is a better chance of Ryan Tannehill getting a recording contract than seeing a decent football game. With that, I'm taking the Colts and giving up a point. Next up, Atlanta Hawks fans used to yell, "Go Hawks," and take the Falcons with you. These dirty birds have made their way to the wonderland that is the swamps of Jersey. Gangrene, of one sort or another, will be waiting for them. Once again, I am picking the Jets. I need help. We'll help. I'm also going for 2, giving up 6.5 points to Atlanta. I wonder about myself sometimes. Finally, when people say, "You're going to regret that in the morning," I sleep until noon. Because I'm a problem solver. Enjoy the games.
I'll give Gerald that one. I won't regret it in the morning. I don't wake up in the morning.
This is the first time I've seen Bill actually enjoy Gerald's segment. You seem to go right along with him.
Yeah, well.
All right, let's recap this week's picks. John is going giving up 6 points to taking Kansas City at Green Bay. He's going with the Jets +2 over Atlanta, taking the Chargers -5.5 points over New England, just like Bill is taking the Chargers.
Go figure.
-5.5 points over New England. Bill again likes Kansas City -6. They're simpatico there, and Bill takes his lockdown pick of the year. This is the one he's betting all the onions on. The Arizona, Chicago, somebody Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals visit the Steelers in Heinz Stadium. Pittsburgh is a 6.5 point favorite. Bill is taking those. No, Trump's not going to be at the game.
That's it.
Bill likes Pittsburgh giving up 6.5 points. I'm taking my Dolphins giving up 9.5 points in a rematch of Super Bowl VII, I think it was. The 1972 undefeated team whooped up on the former, well, we won't say their name, but
what was it, 14-7? They whooped them.
14-7. That's exactly what the score was. So I'm taking my Fins. I like the I don't like Houston over Denver, but I didn't see. Yes, sir.
Didn't I warn you about this last week with Denver? You don't heed my warning. I told you Denver is hot. I stayed away from this because it was Houston.
Why don't you?
I learned my lesson with Houston.
Look, it's not like you pick every game correct. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, wait a second now.
Well, it's too late. It's locked in. Look, the graphics department got everything correct this week. So let's celebrate that fact. May I continue, sir? May I continue?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. By the way, save your comments till after the segment, and then
I couldn't help it. It was right there. So
I understand you have control issues. You have impulse issues. Anyway, I'm taking against my doctor's orders. I'm taking the Texans giving up 3 as they host Denver. Tennessee hosts the Colts. I'm taking Tennessee, going for 2, giving up 6.5 points. Gerald likes he's taking Tampa Bay, giving up 5 over Carolina. That is one sucky division. Oh my God. It makes
not being sub 500. This team could be sub 250 and win the division.
It makes the NFC North look competitive, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's for damn certain.
Indianapolis is favored by 1 point as they visit Tennessee. Gerald and I kind of go the opposite way on that. And finally, because he has an addiction, Gerald is going for 2 with the Jets. Giving up 6.5 points as they host Atlanta.
We need to get Gerald into the 12-step program.
Because Atlanta was the favorite on that. Anyway, that'll do it for John and Ed versus the spread for this week. We know you have options when it comes to playing parlays and gambling your money away. And as we always like to say, if you're going to use our picks in which to make decisions on where to bet your money. Bill, what is it we always say?
Follow my lead.
Follow his lead. And that'll do it for John and Ed versus the spread for this week. And boy, oh boy, you're going to live off that one for years to come.
Couple of weeks yet anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to. Look, I get what you're saying about Denver.
Yeah, they did it to you last week, and I warned you. Your doctor, Vinny Boombots, he even told you.
Told me to start smoking if I want to quit chewing gum.
If I want chewing gum.
All right, let's clear the air here with something we can all agree on.
Ted Cruz, go fuck yourself.
That always makes me feel better.
I know it does. So, sometimes these games just don't speak to me. Keep in mind, I pick all these games anyway. I am currently, I forgot to write it down. I'm currently about 20 games over 500. I've got about a 570 winning percentage.
Well, is there some reason you're not putting money on these games then?
Yeah, because I'm afraid once I do,
Are you damn certain that's me too?
I've
The
been doing
minute
this.
I lay down cash, all bets are off at that point.
I've been doing this for a gazillion years, and I do it for me. I will very quickly tell the one time I put real money on a game. I was going out to Vegas. Everybody, oh Ed, put blah blah blah. Put $50, $100. They all gave me their cash. Put it on the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. Dolphins didn't have a chance that year. Anyway, this is August, so I get to the sports book. And I'm looking at the odds. I look at the Marlins, and I'm thinking maybe I put 20 on the Marlins to win the World Series.
Oh, did you
maybe
luck
10.
out that year or what?
Maybe 10. No, I didn't put a dime on it.
Oh, that'll teach you.
Yeah, and they won. I would have won. I don't know, $4 or $5 grand.
At least,
because at that point they were just waking up. Which is more than I can say for their manager that year, Jack McKeon. Who you could see in the dugout. Somebody would always go, Jack, wake up.
Jack, wake up. You're on TV. Wake up, Jack.
So anyway, no, I don't put money on the games because if I did, it would just...
It wouldn't be weighted. There's
No.
just too much effort. Too much
Hey,
effort.
look, you were talking about pre-show, and I want to get back to this. You were starting to tell me, because I got 2 movies I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So start with the one you were telling me about pre-show.
Okay, I watched it on Netflix last night, and it was called Exorcist Believer. Now, we've seen some of these takeoffs on Exorcist, so I thought, okay, it really drew you back into the original because I can't remember her name, the actress who played her mother, little girl's mother in the original Exorcist, is in this movie. And she'd written some books and stuff going on. And then they start talking about Reagan, who was the little girl that was possessed. And she's got all her pictures of her and stuff. And she hasn't talked to her daughter in a long, long time and stuff. And she makes an appearance in the movie too. So, I mean, if you follow the Exorcist movies, this is a good one to finish it out with.
And what's the name of it?
Exorcist Believer. I think it's on Netflix.
Ellen Bernstein.
Yeah,
that's who you're thinking of.
Yeah,
and apparently
I didn't
Linda
recognize her
Blair
because
might be
it's been like 50 some years since she was in the original movie. But the minute she started talking, oh yeah, okay. And then who was the gal that played Reagan? Everybody, what was
Linda Blair?
Linda Blair. Thank you, Linda Blair.
Your mother sews socks in hell.
That's not quite what she says, but yes.
As we discussed earlier, Exorcist not really my kind of picture. Not something I think I've seen it. Didn't really care for it. Now I used to go see all the horror flicks, the slasher flicks. I went and I saw all of them originally in a movie theater. Halloween, the first couple of Halloweens. Didn't care for the Freddy movies, Nightmare on Elm Street. Saw a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
If there were kids if there were camp counselors in it, I was there and dying. I was there for it. So I want to talk about a movie I watched the other night and thoroughly enjoyed, more than I thought I would. I even rented it for $6. Barbie. Bill is checking out. I don't know why. I don't know why he's having this reaction. Yeah, really. It was funny.
Ed, I'm going to ask an all honesty question here. Are you gay?
I'm not. Would you like to try? The price is right.
But I will try anything once. I'm willing to learn.
That's right. I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
$20. That's exactly right.
I'm not gay because I focused on Margot Robbie the entire time.
Good for you.
Oh, then you don't know who Margot Robbie is.
She could have been butt naked in this movie, and I still wouldn't have gone seen it.
There is a movie she's butt naked in, and I'm trying.
Well,
to
then
remember.
I probably saw it.
It's good movie. It's written well. There's what do you?
It's a damn fly in the studio.
So anyway, it was a fun movie. It is what it was, and I enjoyed it. And of course, I enjoy just watching Margot Robbie. She is the living embodiment of Barbie, just the looks, and she played it well. They played it perfectly for what they were going after. And it was a fun little movie.
12 to 15-year-old girly movie.
But
That's
it
what they
wasn't
were
about
going
that
after. And Ed's in the first row with his milk duds. And
say what you will. See, I was worried about mentioning this because you're a Neanderthal.
Crack rock together, watch movie.
That's right. You give cavemen a bad name. Grab by hair, drag to. Adios. Well, see you, John. She didn't call.
Well,
I'm guessing that's John because
they probably tried to call, but the phones weren't on.
Well, the only other person with access to the Radio TFI account would be me, and I promise
you ain't texting yourself.
I'm confident that it's not me.
Not me.
Not 100%, but I'm confident. All right, let me move on to the other thing that I watched over the course of this week. You're familiar with the movie Squid Game?
Nope.
See,
I that's one I had no desire to watch. I've seen the ads for it. Fly, and I just I don't know. Just didn't sound enjoyable.
It is enjoyable, but they did a competition based on it, and they went all out on it. But you would have had to have seen the movie to truly appreciate it. But it's down to they did 10 episodes. I've seen 9. The next one comes out Wednesday, so I'll watch that. But again, we'll pass by on that.
Our tastes in movies are much varied.
So anyway, I'm gonna go. Just this will be the only time we do this. I know you're a big baseball fan, so I just want to go over what we got coming up on our doubleheader Saturdays, our throwback baseball, our hot stove league, if you will. So as we mentioned, coming up this Saturday the 9th, it's Boston Red Sox, Chicago White Sox from 1936. How many years would that be? No, Dame Judi Dench is older than this, and she was alive for this game.
She was alive.
From 1961, we got Tigers at Yankees in a doubleheader. And the following week, it's the Angels versus the Yankees in a doubleheader. The following week after that, Yankees go to Cleveland for a doubleheader.
Get off the Yankees, for Christ's sake!
Sure. The week after that, it's Braves versus the Mets.
You're just gonna stay in the East, though, huh? Okay.
We only got what we got, man.
Oh well, that's why. Okay.
I mean, we have other games, but as far as doubleheaders went. That's from 1963. Also from 1963, Pirates visit the Mets in a doubleheader. Moving on, we'll
because
have
both of those teams were so good back in 1963.
Well, you take what you got. We've got the Dodgers versus the Cardinals in a doubleheader, and a twin bill, as they used to say, from 1967. The following week, we have just
now that'd be worth listening to. Bob Gibson pitching,
right. I don't know if Gibson pitches one of those games, but
the thing that was so funny about Gibson that year, he was 20-6 with the record for ERA, 1.12 ERA.
You're talking
And
about
I'm like,
67 or
I
68?
think it was 67. And how in the hell, with an ERA of 1.12, did you lose 6 games?
You know,
It must have all been 1-0. 1-0.
Gibson was fierce. They said you know, you didn't want to face him because he just
you
looked
did not
angry.
crowd the plate against Gibson.
Yeah, because he made you pay for it.
You would do it once.
Following that, we have another games played on the same day. The loss from 1964, Dodgers versus the Colt 45s. And then the 4:00 game will be the Yankees versus the Washington Senators. Yes, kids, there was a team. There were 2 teams. called
Two
the Washington-
teams, yeah. They left twice.
They left twice. Then you have the Tigers from 1962.
All right, but
Tigers-
wait a minute. Here's your trivia question.
I know it.
Who were the 2 teams the Washington Senators left? Who did they become?
Well, they became the
The
Minnesota
2 times the Senators left. What
Minnesota
teams did they
Twins
become?
and
Minnesota Twins,
and the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers. Yep.
Thank you. You're not going to get me on team relocations and all that. I got it
No.
all. I got. And by the way, did you also know that Seattle is the only city to be granted not 1 but 2 expansion teams?
Yeah.
So
Well,
anyway, moving.
the first one didn't take.
It was only a year, and then Bud Selig.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, anyway, I don't want to get into it. Anyway, and then we have Tigers versus the Yankees, Mets versus Giants. That's from 1962. From 1969, oh, what a great year. We'll have Mets versus Cardinals. Giants visit the Padres. And our wrap-up, our final doubleheader of the year will be from 1972. This will be on February 17th, just as spring training starts up. It'll be a doubleheader with the Mets visiting the San Diego Padres in a twin bill. Now, these games will start at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock on our Eastern time on our airwaves. There's a couple of games where the early game goes long, so the second game will just begin right after it. It won't be 4 o'clock. By the way, in our archives, which I find amazing, and they don't mention it really during the game, we have the first time the San Francisco Giants visited their old home, the Polo Grounds, to play the New York Mets. And it's interesting that it's not mentioned on the broadcast.
No, you would have thought that was something to. Well, of course, now they do everything they can to popularize the games or advertise the games, give you a little twist on it.
Well, I'm just talking about during the broadcast, the announcer, it's just one of those interesting little notes. You go, and by the way, this is the first time the Giants have returned to their former home.
Yeah.
Since moving to San Francisco 3 years ago or 4 years ago, or, and abandoned people.
It was too soon.
They didn't have too soon back in the early 60s.
Yeah, exactly.
You took your crap and you dealt with it, and that was that.
Move along. You just deal with it.
So we've pretty much managed to kill another one here. And
hey, another one bites the dust.
Oh, that's what it was with Brendan Fraser. Speaking of birthdays, I was going to play George of the Jungle, but the only version of that I have is the Weird Al version.
Oh, good Lord, no, that wouldn't have worked.
Well, no, because he protects his stuff. I don't have the original cartoon version, which I would play.
Yeah, well, we probably would have gotten kicked off the airwaves either way. So,
well, with the Weird Al, we do, and I don't want to. Look, he's very.
Well, if he's protective, then we'll respect his rights, and
we do respect. We respect that, and anybody that it's part of the disclaimer. We play every damn week.
That's it. So there.
If you got a problem,
boo boo,
we will stop playing your stuff, man. But we play it because we love it. We appreciate it.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. It's kind of. I mean, we're not making any money off it, for crying out loud.
Oh, by the way, in between games, I almost forgot about this. You will hear We have a collection of. There's the
No, you
ball.
won't.
We will. We have a collection of baseball-themed music and little stuff, and
Oh, cool.
great songs like Center Field. So that fills in between the games. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids and kittens, that's going to do it for us for this week. For Bill Fancher, the Missing in Action, John Shannon, I am Ed Van Ness. Thank you for joining us today and every week. See ya!